Yo, what's poppin', people? Your boy Snacks is back in the building with another banger. And you know how we do before we get started, we got to give a shout out to you, of course, the viewer, for taking the time out to watch this video. But while you're here, make sure you do your boy a solid and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to fill that comment section up because we do get busy in the comment section. Another day, another distraction, another change of the narrative. So, what are we doing now? Now we got us a learning curve. And it so happens to be the playbook. Are we really doing this already? Let's go. So it seems that the narrative has changed to not being able to understand the playbook, to having a bit of a learning curve when it comes to Shedeur Sanders. But y'all know before we even get deep into this, we got to shout out the CU Aunties. We always shout out the ladies for taking the time out and coming to the videos and doing their doggone thing. We appreciate them. But getting back to 12, they say it's a learning curve problem. It's now that we can't put it on his throwing potential, his being able to read and react to defenses, him being able to put balls in the proper place. Because we started out with this tracker, and that was supposed to be the deterrent to quell all of the noise for Shedeur Sanders. That didn't work. That only made the noise even louder. So what do? Mary Kay Cabot, Tony Grossi, and a few others. We changed the narrative. We changed it to, well, he ain't getting first team reps because he might not be learning the playbook as fast as Dylan Gabriel. Well, let's see what 92.3 the fan got.
Brown's handling of Shedeur till now, is that impacted by their desire to tamp down the noise around Shedeur?
No, I think it's because he had a bigger learning curve than Dylan Gabriel. That's the reality of it. You know, I mean, Dylan Gabriel started how many games in college? Dylan Gabriel crushed his pre-draft process. Like, now that doesn't mean there wasn't stuff for him to learn along the way, but I mean, I wrote this back in March and April that there were teams that were like sort of stunned by how little Shedeur knew, you know, relative to what they thought, him being the son of Deion and having played for Pat Shurmur in college, you know, like, so I think Shedeur, and maybe this isn't any fault of his own, but I think Shedeur had a lot more ground to cover than Dylan Gabriel did. And so because of that, like, it's harder to put him out there with the first team. You know, again, like, you have to be able to answer to your players in these sorts of things. That's the way I look at it, at least. And, you know, I think, you know, just as far as being in a position to tell your players why you're doing something, if Shedeur's behind, it's harder to give him first team reps. Can you earn those going forward? Sure. But I think the reality is he was pretty far behind to begin with.
Now, there is the narrative shifting. See how we go from one spot to another? Now it's teams didn't think he knew as much as he did. They wouldn't. First, he was unprepared. You know, then it was the headphones. Then he was uncoachable. Now, we didn't think he knew as much as he should have known, being the son of Deion. And I saw another, mind you, I've been asleep all day because I did an extra long shift. So I wake up to prepare for work. And like, I ain't gonna make no video today. And then I check the internet and this madness is happening. And I'm like, come on, dog, we can't do this. And I've seen a few articles and a few things that people have said, and we're going to delve deeper in that tomorrow. But right now, everybody is talking Dylan Gabriel was better. He learned more in college because he went to 3 different schools. So what? Shedeur had 4 different offensive coordinators. What's your point? Shedeur had 4 different offensive coordinators. He had a different offensive coordinator each year in college. You know what that means? I got to learn a new offense. So the math ain't mathing. To not be able to understand the playbook means you can't make plays on the field. That don't equate to what we see. And then they say he's not learning the verbiage. He's not learning the terminology. That's easily fixable. You put a wristband on it. Put plays on a wristband. Put it on his hand. Open it up. Look at it. Okay, that's what we're doing. Let's go. So, miss me with all the bull crap. They keep trying to move the goalposts. They keep trying to make it. It's not that they want Dillon Gabriel to succeed more than they want Shedeur to fail. And I don't understand that. If you're covering a team, you're supposed to want your quarterbacks to succeed. Why don't you not want both of them to be great? Why would you want one to be great and one to fail? Nobody on the Shedeur Sanders side has wished for Dillon Gabriel to suck at football. We've simply said that Shedeur is better than Dillon. Not that Dillon sucks. Which that's not ain't got nothing to do with it. Just look at my comment section. And then you'll get your answer to that. But Shedeur is better at football than Dillon Gabriel. He's better at understanding football than Dillon Gabriel. If anybody has been watching my videos, I'm telling you, Shedeur is a processor. He reads and reacts. He understands better. That's why I said he doesn't need to start the first game. He needs to see it. Let him see it. And I promise you, it will produce a better quarterback. See, what people are misunderstanding about Shedeur, they're not really misunderstanding. They just don't want to see it, and they don't want to say it. That he has been bred for this moment. His father has put him with the right people all of his life, trained with the right people, practiced with the right people, been coached by the right people for this particular moment. People thought Shiloh was going to be bad. Shiloh is actually good. I told y'all, Shiloh was one of the best safeties in college football. People didn't believe me because you were too busy hating on Shiloh for being a Sanders. Yeah, he's more show-offish and boisterous on the field than Shedeur because every time he get a big hit, he flex up and do his thing. Yeah, so what? He put the hammer on somebody. That's what you're supposed to do. But back to Shedeur. We keep on trying to kick this can down the road, and eventually you're going to run out of rope in a minute. I know we got 4 or 5 weeks of off time. And you know what Shedeur is going to do with that off time? He's going to get better. You know what Dillon Gabriel's going to do with that off time? He's going to study. He's going to get better. But I don't understand where Kenny Pickett comes up in any of this. Because all of a sudden, everybody's talking about Kenny Pickett this, Kenny Pickett that. And you show me anywhere in Kenny Pickett's resume that tells me that he is a better quarterback than any 3 of the other quarterbacks that's on this roster. That's including the 2 rookies. Because you can't. It's not possible. Even Pat McAfee.
Balls coming out of Shedeur Sanders at that game.
yeah.
I'm like, Kind of looks like a guy.
Yeah, I'm reading.
He can sling it.
Read the team. I see him. Some of the veterans, how they talk to him, mic'd up, see what he's doing in the community.
Yep.
You talking about Njoku there?
Joku, Mike Napp. Yeah, once you see, different little interactions and things like that, we know I know he has the talent. We'll see. It'll be a competition that usually brings the best out of guys, especially young guys. So I'm interested to see how that quarterback situation.
I've heard he's been outstanding in the building, and I don't know. There was never no one thought he was this like malcontent or like a bag. It wasn't.
That was the word.
That was kind of what was being said. That was kind of what was being said.
No. The pre-draft process was so unorthodox that he didn't go through it all like everyone else did. And I think there's a lot that we can look back on this thing, especially if he becomes a star in this league and say, you could point fingers in a million ways. Not having a pure agent, not having, the workouts that everyone else did, going to these teams, not necessarily being as willing to throw the ball when asked at the All-Star games. Like that kind of stuff I think might have stung him and might have turned teams off. But at no point did anyone say he's a bad kid or that he wasn't going to get along with veterans and come in? I mean, this is a guy who has been training to be a professional football player since the day he was born and is ready for this moment.
Exactly, that part. His entire life. So there is nothing that you have shown us or said that tells me Shedeur is not ready for this. That he doesn't understand the playbook. You can't tell me that he doesn't understand the plays because every time he throws the ball, it's a completion. It seems to me that everybody else is further behind than him because his completion percentage up here and there. So, who looks better? Who plays better? Who is building more camaraderie with their teammates? Who are the veterans on that squad drifting toward? Who are they having more communications with? Who is everybody gathering around and talking to when we all standing around shucking and jiving? We got the big circle over here and the little circle over there. And somehow, some way, Shedeur is in the big circle. But I ain't gonna hold y'all today. I got to get up out of here and get work done. But tomorrow, y'all know how we do. We'll drop another one of them bangers. But anyway, man, I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta go. I gotta get shit done. I gotta make this money and pay for all the rest of this crap. But I'm gonna holler at y'all. Y'all be easy. Y'all know how we get down. I'm out of here. Peace.